let's go in for surgery. Bow your chin. Let some light into the eyes. And then sliding over onto all fours. A little bit different than usual, flip the fingertips to face your knees. Walk the knees slightly back, tuck the toes. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, round. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, round. Do this 2 more times. So where there is bone and joint, there is dexterity. Come through center, fingers face forward. Tuck your toes, push back, downward dog. So that means that at our toes and at our fingers, we have the most amount of control. You might like to pedal out your dog. And then stopping the movement on your inhale, the right leg lifts, point it. Bend your knee, stack your hip, flex it. You might even drop down onto the left forearm. You might even tent the right fingers. Plant your palm, come back, 3-legged dog. Eyes forward, step your right foot outside your hand. Drop your back knee. Tense your fingers, so this might be a little bit awkward. Flip the toes to the top of the mat. Let's take 3 rounds of nollie. Take an inhale. Exhale through the mouth. Hold yourself empty, lift it and lock it. Release the belly. So you'll notice it changes things because we have a limb forward. Take an inhale. Exhale. Hold it empty, lift it, lock it. Release. The effectiveness of nollie is that we're actually creating space in the body. Sukha. Inhale. Exhale. Hold it empty, lift it, lock it. Release the belly, plant the palms, step back, down dog. Maybe pedal it out, rock the hips. So the beauty of the practice is you might start out stiff and awkward, but everything's about to change. No, nothing. Lift your left leg up and point it. Bend your knee and stack your hips and open your pelvis, stretch out through the inline. Are you looking at what you're looking at? Where are your eyes? Eyes forward, step your left foot outside your left wrist, drop the back knee, tent the fingers. 3 rounds of nollie, take an inhale. Exhale. Hold it empty, lift it, lock it. Release. Take a beat, let it settle. Big inhale. Exhale completely. Hold it empty, lift it, lock it. Release. So they say the exhale is the closest thing to death. It can be quite frightening. Take an inhale. Exhale. Hold it empty, lift it, lock it. Release the belly, plant the palms, wiggle that left foot slightly in, and step to the top and you'll be in a squat. Feet hang off the mat, hands to the knees, 3 rounds of nollie from standing. You should be a little bit like a football player. Take an inhale. Exhale, hold it empty, lift it, walk your hands up. Release the belly. So if you were able to tap into the pelvic floor, awesome. If you were able to lift the organs up into the diaphragm, awesome. Second round, inhale. Exhale, clear it out and lift it. Release the belly. So for some of you, you might like to rock side to side with a channel. Take an inhale. Exhale. Hold it empty, lift it, lock it. Release the belly, sama stitihi. Sama equals stitihi, steady. And close your eyes. As though this was the most important thing you've ever done, and I can promise you it is, move in that manner. Open your eyes, release your arms. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Step walk, pounce back, low push-up. Roll over the toes, buoyant chest. Slide back, downward dog. So you know your practice, you know when to shake and shuffle, but pay attention when perhaps there's no shake shuffle needed. Take child's pose when necessary, add extra peppers when you need. Set your drishti, your eyes. Completing your exhale, eyes forward, top of the mat. Lengthen. Bow. Stand up, reach up. Release the arms. Ekam, reach up. Dve, fold. Trini, lengthen. Chatwari, float back to lower. Pancha, roll over the toes, wide heart. Shat, downward dog, 7th position, feet heavy. So the objective is to create heat. With heat comes malleability. An alchemist knows this. Eyes forward, top of the mat. Lengthen. Fold in. Stand up, reach up. Release the arms. Last one, up. Fold in. Lift your heart. Float back, lower. Drag it open, eyes up. Slide back, downward dog. We want to sleuth out where we have been living a half-life, where we've been playing it small, accepting less, being partly asleep on autopilot. Our practice is about repetition, but presence while doing so. Eyes forward, top of the mat. Lengthen. Bow in. Stretch up, quads up, look up. Release the arms. Sit on your throne, Utkatasana. Uttanasana, chest to thighs. Ardha Uttanasana. Chaturanga Dandasana, back, lower. Roll over the toes, big wide open heart. Go back. The right foot steps with authority, warrior one, palms touch. Let it go, palms back, lower. Drag it up, eyes up. Slide back. The left foot steps like you mean it, up. Down, palms plant, chaturanga. Urdhva Mukha. Adho Mukha, slide and land. So if you'd like to take a forearm stand here or a dolphin, you could do so. You could take child's or settle in down dog. Wherever you are, Mula Bandha, pelvic floor, activated through the inner heels subtly hugging together. If you're upside down, come back through down dog. Hollowing your belly, eyes forward, top of the mat. Big inhale clears the digestive organs. Exhale, fold. Sit low, arms up. Stand tall. Bend your knees, Utkatasana. Uttanasana, belly to thighs. Ardha, lengthen. Step walk, fly back, chaturanga. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Adho Mukha, right foot steps, Vira. Hands down, right leg to the sky. Look at the feet and maybe flip the dog or leave the foot up. Press through the pelvis. Drop the head, drishti toward the palm. If you were warm enough for Urdhva D, you could take that. 2. 1, hands down, zipper through center, chaturanga. Urdhva, crack it open. Adho, slide it back. Left foot steps, Vira, palms kiss. Hands down, step the left foot back either to the sky or flip your dog, hips high. Scan your face, a look of ease. Zipper through center, hands down, chaturanga. Urdhva, over the toes. Adho, strike back. Look at your gorgeous feet. Corkscrew the heels, ensure the arches are lifted. Uddiyana Bandha, put the flying lock into action like we're wearing a corset on our belly, but the lungs are free. Eyes forward, top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Bow. Sit low, Utkatasana. Samastitihi. Utkatasana. Uttanasana, chest to thighs. Ardha, lengthen. Chaturanga Dandasana, back. Remember, we're going into the fire. Ride it up, heart up. Downward dog. The right foot steps, warrior one. Adding on, hands down, send that right leg high. Look at your foot and step the foot behind to flip the dog, and then lower the bottom for Marichi A. Reach that right arm forward, tangle the hands around the shin, lengthen, fold. So some of you might need a strap here. So to tell you where we're headed, we'll end up in a gate pose facing the long edge of our mat, and the right knee will face the long edge. I'll cue you, but sometimes it's helpful to know. Untangle the bind, plant your palms, and drop your right knee so it faces the long edge for gate. Tent the right fingertips, reach through the left arm. Nice, hands down, step back, low push-up. Drag it open, heart up. Slide back. The left foot steps, Vira A, land and rise. Hands down, step your left foot behind your right foot and drop your bottom, coming into Marichi A. Tangle the arms around the folded left knee, lengthen. Bow. So with a seated pose so early on, what does that do to the chitta field? How's your mind? Because for me personally, that might freak me out a little bit. Might piss me off a little bit. We are studying this beautiful thing, this mind that is 99% us. Remember, we're going to end up in gate pose with our left knee down facing the long edge. Come up, untangle, zipper through center, left knee faces the edge, gate pose, tent your left fingers. So we can go 3 days without water, we can go 3 weeks without food, 3 minutes without a breath, but we can't go 3 seconds without thinking. The mind is 99% us. Plant the palms, step back, lower. Lift your sternum, eyes up. Slide back. Walk your hands back to your feet. Catch your big toes in yogi grip. Padangustasana, lengthen. Fold and let your head fall. So knowing that, we're going to circumvent the mind and we're going to think about things that are relevant to this moment. Inhale, lengthen, option to stay in Malasana, knees fanned, or tip it forward into a little crow. Fan the feet, lower the head to come into a teddy bear stand, a variation of Shirshasana. And then hooking the knees back on the arms, pick it up. Bakhasan, crow for 2. 1, release the feet, Padahastasana, thread the hands under the feet. Big inhale clears the belly, exhale drops you, dives you in. Pull it forward. Internally rotate the leg bones. Lengthen. Walk it forward, downward dog. Step your right foot forward, Vira A. Vira B. Exalted warrior. Extended side angle, perhaps with a bind. So elbow to knee, hand inside the foot. Maybe the hands tangle. For some of you, you might want to step forward for birds of paradise. If you're flying, step down, step back. Untangle the bind, drop the back knee, twisted side angle. Hook your left elbow over your right knee, hands to prayer. Some of you might open, some of you might bind, maybe even kick the back heel off the ground. So your inhale gives you space and your exhale gives you depth. Untangle the shape, hands down, take a runner's stretch and bring your eyes to me. So Kundinasana A is a transitionary posture that gets us out of Ashtavakrasana, and it's a sweet little transition piece for a lot of hand balances. So a quick demonstration, my knee is pretty close through center. I'm going to stick my bottom out and thread the right arm under. Making a shelf, my left hand is placed back, so my elbow supports my ribs as I pick that right foot up, flex my glute to lift the back leg. So rise up, and if you wish to take a Kundinasana, feel free to do so. Make that shelf with the arm. It's a very apanic posture, meaning downward energy pose. Beautiful, E. And then we're going to start to add that in so we can get in and out of postures with that one. Step your left foot forward, Vira A. Vira B. Flip the warrior. Extended side angle, elbow to knee or hand inside the foot. Beautiful. Take a bind, step it forward if you like. Beautiful, Jazz. Like this was the most important thing you have ever freaking done. I promise you it is. Watch for extra add-on movements that aren't really serving the practice. If you're flying, step down, step back. If you're all tangled up, untangle, move into twisted side angle, right arm up. Hook it over, hands to prayer, unless you wish to bind the arms. Your eyes are the extension of the posture. So the more they roll, the more they gaze up and over, the deeper the twist. Releasing the hands to the earth. Take a moment in a runner's stretch. Think about Kundinasana. Picture it in your skin. It's quite apanic. It's pretty downward energy. But what keeps it high is the back glute. Lunge deeply. Hook your left elbow underneath the right knee. Maybe you pick it up. Kundinasana and vinyasa back. So now we're familiar with that, and we'll start adding on. Eyes forward, top of the mat. Lift your heart. Bow. Stand tall, reach high, look up. Release your arms. Take a step out with your right foot, Trikonasana, face the back. Catch your shin, block the earth. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon, tip it up. Right foot, right hand, and let's take a Bakasana foot, a frog foot. So the hand either remains at the hip or you'll catch your toes. You're gonna flip your fingers so the fingers track the toes and work your heel by your hip. So when we start to move into the Ekapada Rajas, it has a lot to do with the back thigh and psoas. Untangle, take a standing split, bow in. Some of you might even like to give me 3 kicks into handstand. 2. 1. Release the right foot down and then let's step open for Trikonasana facing forward. Glide your hip, take the shin, the ankle, the toe, the floor. Right arm up. So Trikonasana triangle pose is in the Asana Hall of Fame. And the reason it's in the Hall of Fame is that it could never be perfected. Remember, we're using repetition to find dharana, focus. Ardha Chandrasana, left hand, left foot. Either keep the right hand on the hip or bend the right foot and take a Bakasana, that bent knee. So we find this pose in second series and we're typically on our tummies when we take it. Untangle the shape, super gently step open for twisted triangle, face the back. Thighs wide as you fold, take your left hand to the pinky toe edge, Parvrita Trikonasana. Take your eyes down, a big inhale lifts you, faces you forward. Opposite side, sitting bones back, plant the right palm, roll it open. Just out of curiosity, is there dvesa? Is there pushing away? Any postures? And why it's relevant in the asana practice is if it's here, it's definitely in real life. Not that this isn't real life. A big inhale stands you up, 5-pointed star, and steps you to the top. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen for an option to toe tap. Plant your palms shoulder distance apart. Take your feet shoulder distance apart and then hook your toes on the back, the meat of your forearms. And then this might be enough. Some of you might tip it forward and pick the heels up. You might do that a couple more times. Some of you might pop back and let's vinyasa, lower. Drag it open. Slide it back. Step your right foot forward, Virabhadrasana A. Vira B. Straighten your right leg. We'll move into Goddess for Nali. So fan the feet to the upper corners of the mat. Bend your knees. Bring your hands to your knees. Take an inhale. Exhale through the mouth. Lift it, lock it. Release the belly, take a breath. One more time, take an inhale. Exhale, hold it empty, lift it, lock it. Release the toes, release the belly, pivot the toes, catch the waist, Prasarita A, lengthen. Fold, hands down. Inhale, lengthen, look up. And exhale, dip down, crown of the head to the floor. So of course, if you'd like to go upside down, handstand, forearm stand, headstand, do it. And if you're upside down for fun, take eagle legs. Wrap one leg around the other. And like you're moving through honey, unravel, re-ravel. Mula Bandha, so still the tummy, the floor, the pelvic floor is alive. And super gently release the feet. Inhale, lengthen. Pivot to face your left leg for half split or full split. So melt the pelvis. Scan your face. In a few moments, we'll turn this into Ashtavakrasana with that Kundinasana vinyasa. So again, you'll take it moment by moment, step by step. But the thing to consider is that when in Ashta, 8-limb staff pose, you'll have to create some space to get your long leg through. And then from there, the shoulders will drop to catch that Kundinasana shape. Worst case, you fall on your face. Sit over on your left hip, pull the right leg forward and rock your hip. And maybe that's as far as you want to go. You might hook your knee on your elbow, making that shape, crossing the feet and picking it up. So already I know my top leg, my right leg, needs to be connected to my elbow. As I untangle the left, thread it back, Kundinasana, vinyasa, so float back however you want, big inhale up, and exhale back. Lift your left leg up. Cross it over to the right armpit, Vishvamatrasana or fallen triangle. Extend the left foot, toe down. Some of you might catch the big toe, the edge of the foot, pull it forward. Gaze under the armpit, 3, 2, 1. Release the foot. Crawl yourself to face forward, hands down. Listen carefully. Send the right leg up and then drop it behind and drop your bottom. Take a moment, reach forward, take Marichi A. We've been here before. We'll end up in gate, hands come forward, right knee faces the long edge of the mat, left arm reaches. And then Janu A facing the back, lower your bottom, square the shoulders, and fold over the left leg. Rising all the way up, palms face forward, step back, lower. Lift it up, eyes up, slide back. Option 1, child's pose. Option 2, dolphin or forearm stand. So you can take the meat of the forearms, roll them in. Child's pose is sweet. This is the most important thing you've ever done, whether it's child's, dolphin, or forearm. And that's what we're trying to get buy-in for. is that every moment, every conflict, every joy, every sorrow matters. Equally as important, every shape, every breath. And come all the way down, sit back, Malasana, child's pose. Again, why are you here? In the big scheme, but also just moment to moment. We get confused and think Dharma's gonna be a great success, will be famous. But sometimes Dharma is tending to a garden to feed your family. Rise up, downward dog. Step your left foot forward, warrior one. Warrior two. Goddess pose for 2 rounds of Nollie. Hands on the knees. Let's vacuum seal it. Big inhale. Exhale. Hollow the belly, lift the organs up. Release. Deeper connection. I want those organs all the way to your throat. Inhale. Exhale. Hold yourself empty, lock it, load it, lift it. Release the belly, flip the toes, Prasarita D, bow, catch your big toes, lengthen, and fold forward. Crown down, sitting bones up. You could have a spiritual awakening right now. Widen the thighs. So our yoga works again from the gross to the subtle, so the obvious to the not so obvious. Below the layers of the obvious, there is nuance and beauty, curiosity, potential. Inhale, lengthen. Pivot to face your right leg for Hanuman facing the back. Straighten your leg. Slide down and let yourself settle. So again, that Kundinasana shape is helpful as a transitionary posture. By its very nature, its wind, its vayu is heavy and downward. So prana, prana vayu is up, energy up, wind, and apana is downward. Sit over on your right hip and sweep the left leg forward for Ashtavakrasana. Maybe we rock our hip and that's good. Some of us might catch the knee and hook the ankles, picking it up, looking to the feet. So if I'm up, I already know that my left connection to my arm, my left leg, is crucial as I thread the right leg back, Kundinasana, and everyone, vinyasa. Lift your right leg up. Cross it over to the left wrist, and you might lower the foot, fall in triangle. You might catch the edge of the foot, Vishvamatrasana, lifting the foot, gazing under the armpit. We find this in third series 2. 1. Release the foot and paw yourself to face your left leg. We'll flip the dog into Marichi A. Take your left leg, send it back. Lower it, drop your bottom. Intertwine your fingers, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Already in our mind's eye, we have gate. Rise up, plant the palms, point your left knee to the long edge, gate. Big extension through the side. Drop your bottom to take Janu A facing the back. Square the hips and fold. Rising all the way up, face forward, vinyasa or downward facing dog. Yeah. Eyes forward, top of the mat for a little squat. Bring your eyes toward me. So this is Ekapada Kundinasana B to Ekapada Kundinasana A. And if you watch me, it's like I'm covered in baby oil and I'm just like sliding into the second one. So you can do it straight from side crow, but this is the variation I'd love. So Kundinasana, and then there's this moment where you come into side crow and then baby oil, vinyasa. Let's see what happens. Knees pop forward, spin them over to the left. Hook your left elbow nice and tight to your hip as you pick it up, side crow. Some of you might fan the legs, Ekapada, maybe side crow, nice E, and then slip baby oil, Kundinasana, and vinyasa. So because a lot of you have ridiculously long legs, you'll likely need more chest forward. So let's do it on the opposite side. You look good, Eva, by the way. Pivot the knees. Nice and tight, so put it into practice. What worked, what didn't. Hook the elbow, pick it up, side crow. Maybe you stay there, maybe you go Kundinasana. Maybe you put on the baby oil and slide. And slide. Beautiful vinyasa. Downward dog. Paw your hands back to your feet and you'll need a strap for Ekapada Rajanathrajasana. Lengthen. Fold. Stand up. So your strap hopefully isn't a TheraBand because it could snap and smack you in the face. So you'll be on your left leg and you'll catch a hold of the top of the right foot with your strap. Some of you might not need a strap. Imagine that you're a server and you're holding a tray of drinks. And then the moment the foot goes back, the elbow reaches to the ceiling as you start to bow and tip your weight, crawling yourself down the strap. Tighten your bow. So if you were gonna hunt, you'd need a tight bow to shoot an arrow. 3, 2, 1, and untangle. Nicely done. Other side. So we're gonna do this in a couple different shapes. So let's do it standing first, which might be the most challenging. Strap your left foot, crawl your way down that left ankle. Sorry, strap. Mula Bandha even here. 3, 2, 1. Release the shape. Release your strap, but keep it handy. Tree pose or half bound standing lotus or flying pigeon on your left leg. So the right foot comes up, stomps the thigh. Some of you might cross it over for half lotus, and if you want to work the hand balance, of course you could, but choose what's in your best interest. your down, come up. If the arms are elevated, bring them in, release the shape. Opposite side, Vrikshasana or Ardha Baddha Padma or Ekapada Galavasana. So it's tree, it's a half lotus, it's a flying pigeon. And have a little fun in this magic carpet ride, this body that's an amusement park. If you're down, come up. If the arms are elevated, bring them in. Looking good. Nice Vasti. Untangle. Stand up. Inhale, touch the ceiling. Exhale, fold forehead to shins. Lengthen. Paw it forward, downward dog, high plank, and then onto the tummy. Half a Bakasana, because we're going to turn it into half bow. Left forearm crosses over like half of an X. Bend your right knee. Take your right hand, catch your toe. Might be as far as you get. Some of you might start to work the heel outside the glute. So we'll work bow with a strap like we did with King Dancer. Some of you might even strap up both your feet to go into it. Releasing that leg, do it on the opposite side. Cross the right shin, half an X. Bakasana, half frog. Push your foot down. Scan your face. Release the shape, vinyasa, and meet me in down dog. Lift your right leg up, Ekapada Raja Kapotasana, King Pigeon. So pigeon posture, option to fold. Some of you might work your fishing mission. Again, hopefully you don't have a TheraBand because it is dangerous. But you could strap your foot. And I really recommend this, especially if your body doesn't like this action. It's important to do things that we're not totally versed at. Gorgeous, Vasti. Nice Jazz. Crawl it back, tighten the bow. So if your dinner depended on it, if your family needed this animal, this carrot that you were hunting, you would tighten that bow. You would shoot that arrow, and that's what we want, the tightest bow possible. Untangle. Beautiful Jazz, that was awesome. And then the option would be a quick little one-legged crow or just a step back. So I shorten my dog, my left foot goes in slightly, and then my right knee catches on the elbow to give a quick little kick to vinyasa or down dog. Nice. Jazz, shoulders a little more forward, or drop the shoulders when you're up there. Opposite side, left leg up. Sweep it through, Ekapada Raja Kapotasana. You could always bow forward. And I know there are some issues with backs, and so you might be hesitant to go for a back bend. And so you might modify, but make sure there is still some integrity in the legs. For me, I know sometimes I say my excuse is that I've got back pain, and truly it isn't. It's just that my back is so tight that it feels uncomfortable. Remember, you don't have to go all the way. My joke is that that's what my first boyfriend said. But you don't have to go to the full expression of the posture. You could go 30%. Tighten the bow, tighten it up. shape. The option is a step back or a quick little tap into one-legged crow before you go back. Give me some hang time, Jazz. I want hang time. Yes, thank you. Stand up on the knees, Ustrasana camel pose. So we'll take 3 of these. Feel free to wall walk, and in between with the option of an inversion, but you never need to do that. You never need to go all the way, said Chad. No, that wasn't his name. Pelvis forward, eyes track the ceiling. Maybe you catch your heels, Ustrasana. All the way up. Option 1, child's. Option 2, headstand. And we'll take it from second series with the hands intertwined at the elbow joints in front of the face, or whatever one you like to work. Child's pose, headstand, 4, 3, 2, 1, all the way down, all the way up. If you're working Legu Vidrasana, feel free, or the one we did before, Ustrasana camel. So the idea of camel is that they've got these stalks of water, and they're able to handle hot heat and no water because they have a reservoir. So us too, like a camel, having a reservoir when needed of the sustenance of life, of prana. We store it in our humps. Come all the way up. Option child's pose or forearm stand. Take your shape, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come down. Yes, Vasti. Last one. Stand up on the knees. Pubic bone forward. Most important thing you've ever done. Beautiful, Elisa. Come up. Bend backward. Yeah, Rach. Oh, that back of yours. I imagine it feels beautiful. Nice, Jen. Yes, Isabel. Caroline. Yes. 3, 2, 1, and come all the way up to cat-cow for a couple moments. Clear the spine. So before we go into our bow, our half bow, I like to put blocks underneath my hips, and foam blocks are a little bit better than cork. But if you bring your eyes to me, we'll play with this. So I set the tops of my hips, kind of my belly, on the block, and then I'm able to get a little bit more height through my bow. So we'll work bow first, and then the option to strap it. And it's not necessary for those of you that are working chin stand. You might take your blocks, hook your thumbs around them, hang the chin off, legs up, and then you might start to work a back bend. So whatever you like, bow or that variation of chin stand, come onto your tummy. Blocks, no blocks, doesn't really matter. Bending the knees, catching the ankles, coming all the way up. Nice, Jazz. Elbows tight, beautiful, Nada. Drop those feet, Vasti. Touch that beautiful hair of yours. Oh, I wish I could come to your living room. Go, go, go. There it is. There it is. And come all the way down. Rise up to all fours and then bring your eyes to me. So again, I hope that you have a better strap than I do. I find it easier to do both legs at once, but we'll do one at a time. And again, you could just work your bow. So we'll strap one foot. And this is a key element. So you know how we did Bakassan frog? There is a moment where the foot goes crazy out to the side in order to zipper it forward and take your bind. So for those of you that are quite flexible, you don't need a strap. So I'll walk my hand through center. I'm going to pull my elbow in tight and I'm going to rise up bow. So let's bend our right knee. Some of you might froggy the foot, catch it, roll it up, maybe full variation. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. You can cheek to one side, let it settle. Last one, come through center, maybe strap, or if you have a bind, you could bind it. Go for it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release the posture, push back, downward dog, wide heels. It's dead now, it's over now. So you know they can go in for surgery in utero, they can do surgery on an embryo, on a baby, and when the baby is born it has no scars. So that's kind of what we're doing as yogis. Eyes forward through to a seat and onto your back. Only 3 more back bends and let's go for it. Little bridge or full wheel, and this first back bend is in honor of Devesa, which is the klesha that says, I don't like it, I don't want it, I won't. Little bridge, full wheel, the things we push away. We assume they cause pain, so we're like, no thank you, I don't want to do it. Mula Bandha, 3, squeeze the thighs, 2, 1, and down. Abhinivesa, which is liking living life, meaning I don't want any change. Little bridge, full wheel. I don't want you to change. I don't want the world to change. I definitely don't want my partner to change. And yet everything is always changing and impermanent. Your body is dying and we're having fun while it's here. And all the way down. Last one, avidya, which means to not see. It's ignorance. Our heart is closed. We don't choose to be that way. It's usually patterned. Some of you might drop to the forearms for Dvipada. Yes, Rach. 4, 3. Yes, Isabel. Nice, Aliza. 2, walk it in Vasti. Catch those ankles. And all the way down. Tuck your knees to your belly. We'll take a twist. Arms wide, knees to the left, eyes to the right. Bring your eyes through center, let the knees tumble to the other side. So if you've ever watched the ocean and the shore and the relationship, the shore changes shapes and then all of a sudden a wave comes and it erases it. It's back to neutral. Bring your eyes through center, bring your knees through center. That's the whole idea of us and our practice. Either shoulder stand or send your legs up against the wall or put a block under your hips. Shoulder standers, send your legs up, wiggle the shoulders under the back to catch the rib basket. Extend through the legs, a subtle internal rotation. So I'll give you about 15 breaths. So if you have any leg shapes you like to take those. Three more breaths until we roll out into Matsyasana, fish pose. And then roll out, pop up onto the elbows, crown of the head down, elbows down, chest up. If you have your lotus, you'll be holding the lotus toes. Chin up, chest up, 3, 2, 1. Lift your legs, lift your arms, palms touch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Untangle, come down. So some of you might like another recline twist, otherwise rock up for Shirshasana headstand. You could take a hip opener, you could take Hanuman, you could work anything you want. So this is almost the final posture. And traditionally, Shirshasana is done at the end, and it's done that way purposefully. We now that the body has moved and bended and twisted, now we stand on Sushumna Nadi, the great channel, the biggest river in the body. And we're so firm and steady that we're able to reach out through those legs. Beautiful. If you have a pike, you could slide your bottom to the back and point your toes. And if you're in an asymmetric posture, you might go to the opposite side. Looks beautiful, Nada. Nice, Jen. And then you could come all the way up and then all the way down and sit back, child's pose. Nice, Isabel. Surrender. So gravity, she hugs us, right? She holds us down. We've got the element of earth below us, supporting us. How lucky are we? Rise all the way up, take a vinyasa, and meet me in a seat for our last 3 postures. It's either a cross-legged position, a half lotus position, or a full Padmasana. So as I've said before, we each have an innate image of our life that we will play out, and it's our job to remove what is a lesser desire. Reach your hands behind your back, catch opposite elbows or toes, and fold. Like a seed, an acorn, you have everything you need. No letter behind the name is going to change it. Rising all the way up, extend the arms, the thumb, the first finger touch, back of the neck long. And as you start to mature into the teacher, the woman, the man, the person that you want to become, it's not in a showboat way. It's this enthusiasm, this smriti that transcends every room that you're in. People feel it. It's inspiring. Open your eyes, press your palms down into the floor, lift up. Utthapitahi, 10, 9, 8, 7, higher 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release your bottom. Take a vinyasa and lie on your back. Drape your shoulders. Take a big inhale. One more. A glass blower knows that the glass can be molded and shaped when it's warm, but when it hardens and cools, it must be broken in order to change. We twist and bend and breathe and pray and chant because we want to stay malleable, curious, receptive. The most outer layer of you is the way that you look and your genetics. It's your height, your eye color, your bone structure, but it's not you. Below that is the energetic body, the mind-body connection, your breath, your vibrancy, but that's not you. Below that, you have a personality and a thinking mind, a planning and organizing, a mind that remembers words and names and memories, but that's not you. Below that, you have a wisdom, an intuition, a knowing, an ability to pick up on a feeling in a room, knowing without knowing how you know, and that's not you. At the very center of you is what is at the center of me and everyone else. Total presence, connection, and absorption. That's you. Take a deep inhale. Take one more. Bring movement to your fingers, bring movement to your toes. Stretch your arms long overhead and bring your knees to your belly. Rolling over onto the right side and then rising to a seat.